We get nursing home transition funds. With things shifting at the state level, they made a change that instead of being distributed by the Department of Aging, we'll get them through DPW. We'll get the same funds through DPW. It doesn't change the money. It involves about $70,000 for the last 6 months of the fiscal year. Goes retroactive back to January 1. They wanted this changed way back then and it just didn't go through. So we're really amending an existing agreement with them that is for January to June this current year. It ends June 30. They had to have this formality signed so that they can generate the money to us.
All right.
We need to sign, I have 2 to sign. We only need to submit a, I don't know if you have, I have 2 here that I
One. How many you want?
Well, I only need 1 to send back to them, but I want 1 to.
So we need a motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and second to approve the grant waiver.
Thank you.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we'll sign it.
What's that?
Now we'll sign it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Formality.
All right, what else do you have for us?
All right, a proposal to merge the Southern Lebanon Community Center with the Maple Street Center. We did a lot of pre-homework with this because we wanted to make sure that, you know, it would be able to be recommended to you all. Want your formal approval on it, but what we've done so far is, as I've said here, we brought, what are the numbers there again? I have it here.
Average 10.
It's only averaging, we rented Midway Church of the Brethren, and we held it to, it doesn't have a center manager at the moment, a volunteer and a few other volunteers just sort of keep it running on their own.
Just 2 days a week.
Only 2 days a week in a month's time. That's only 8 days a month, and there's like an average of only 10 to 12 attending. And we broached them and said, you know, it really, you know, in austerity times here and everything, to rent. We were going to look to relocate, to rent a facility out that way, and hire another center manager. Just didn't make sense to us, bang for the buck. And we brought them over, invited them over for a lunch and a tour of Maple Street, and that they clicked in there. It went well. They liked the facility.
They knew some of the people there.
They knew them. They're limited out there to a smaller room. We have certainly the whole building to offer them for Bible studies and meeting rooms and everything. You're only 3 to 5 miles away. There was a little balking, 1 or 2 of driving, but I mean, if you drive to Walmart or you drive to, you know, I mean, I sort of said, can you drive? And Colt will transport them.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah,
Are you
they-
partnering with Colt?
Yep, yep.
If you could offer
They
pickup
could be
at the
given a
church
ride,
to bring
yeah.
them to the center.
And one of them lives in North Lebanon and passes us and goes to Southern Lebanon. I mean, there's no boundaries with where you attend a center.
Right.
So we did preliminarily get the state's okay, because I didn't want to do it without them saying okay with it. But that wouldn't necessarily mean we do it. It's up to you all in the end. But and we'll save a net savings, as I've said here, of $11,000, and we can put that back into in-home services where we still have a slight waiting list. So to spend it on rental and everything, I just couldn't see the reasoning behind it. If we can absorb those people, it's like 10 to 12 new people just coming to us for center services, in my mind. So.
Question, Commissioner?
Yes, my question relates to item number 3,
Yeah.
where you're talking about 26 hours up to 29 and a half hours for each of the other center managers. In so doing, I don't see a total figure on that for a year.
Yeah.
And if that total figure is coming from number 2, that $11,137, what is the actual
It's
net
not coming
that would
from-
go for in-home services on the waiting list?
I'm sorry, we're saving a total in number 2 of $26,000.
It's not that. I
And
wasn't
so,
sure either.
by increasing those hours, which has been in the works for the past few years, we've been hearing that, they've been clamoring on that, we net save 11.
Okay,
Number
because,
3 costs
After
us
increasing their hours.
Number 3 costs us 13 more, we net save 11.
so it's $15,000 a year
But we're
more.
totally saving 26,000 by this move.
Right. So the senior center hours will cost $15,000.
Yes.
And does that figure in pension?
No, they're, no, that's why.
They don't
we're-
have pension?
No.
Okay.
And then, you know, that magic number is 30 with the new healthcare law
That's why
coming
we're
up,
proposing
so.
29.5.
All right.
We talked about that, and that's that magic coming around the bend here. So the extra 3.5 hours, we figure a bus trip, which we've been doing more lately, if they're on an 8-hour, sometimes a 10-hour day bus trip, that chews up, you know, then there's only 16 hours left in the week for the other 4 days. That's really hard they're having a hard time getting the work done and managing with that many hours.
Sounds like a good trade-off.
We sort of wanted to tie those two together then, but we're not spending that whole savings on them. And we'll be able to put this money back. We're
Right.
having a line item budget meeting this afternoon. We'd like to put this 11,000 back into services.
Which has a waiting list.
We have daycare, a couple people waiting on daycare, some personal care. I don't know if you noticed, and this is whatever, Reading Eagle, and, last week a headline was senior funding slope gets more slippery, and Berks AAA had to go to the county for $400,000 because they're that far in the hole with waiting lists, and
And they kept the waiver
they
program.
kept the waiver program, which we got rid of. So it's catching up with them. These state costs that are trickling down haven't been committed by the county, and I don't want to get us in that position. We have to be very careful.
Thank you for that.
I appreciate that clarification. The only other question is, do any of the 10 or so that attend there not drive personally?
If they don't, they take cold now. There are a few taking cold,
Okay.
and that can be every day. They just need to schedule it.
That's right.
And then we subsidize those trips.
Lebanon Transit.
Yes.
Lebanon
Yes.
Transit.
LT,
Yes.
I'm sorry, her name changed, LT.
And as Mike said, they're only doing 2 days a week there now. That's all we rent, so that's all they have access to
And
that.
they have
And now we have
5
5
days,
days,
yeah.
right, and a lot more activities.
But many of them welcome the extra time, and they eat the meal crowd. There's less and less younger people eating the meal with us, and these older folks generally eat and stay there for cards or, you know, or again, they like their Bible study, they like the more sedentary things, which again, we can do it all out there.
You were serving meals at Midway then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
we'll still
I can
continue
begin to see
meals.
where that savings is. I was
Meals
gonna
here.
ask where that comes from.
Sorry?
I was going to ask where all the savings came from, but
Rental
if,
and center manager.
right, okay.
This way we don't have to have that other employee. And we'll wind up with 5 centers instead of 6 official centers, you know.
Okay. Corey, you look like you have a
Started at
question. No? Okay, okay.
Excuse me?
Jamie, did you want to say something? Joellen, you have any other questions?
No, they answered my questions. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have a motion to close the,
Also move.
Second?
all right, it's been moved and seconded to close, you call it the Southern
Southern
Lebanon
Midway Church.
Midway Center, and make accommodations for those folks at our main center. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.